A recent study by the LA County Department of Public Health indicates that Los Angeles porn stars have higher rates of STDs than prostitutes in Nevada.
Damn.
So this is a pretty incredible study. The LA County study consisted of 168 porn actors. 28% of them tested positive for either gonorrhea or chlamydia or both. According to the study, STD rates among porn actors is significantly higher than among legal prostitutes in Nevada because Nevada law requires that prostitutes wear condoms and be tested weekly for the disease.
Well, that's exactly where I was going to go with this. It's actually fairly obvious because in porn, oftentimes, most often, they do not wear condoms. And they have a lot of sex with a lot of people who then have presumably a decent amount of sex outside of work as well. Whereas with prostitutes, you have to wear condoms. Anybody, one, prostitutes say it. Two, it's the law. Three, anybody with two brain cells that rub together is not going to have sex with a prostitute without a condom. Although a lot of people don't have those two brain cells. You know, you put all those factors together. Yeah, it's not surprising that porn stars would get sexually transmitted diseases more often.
Yeah, the regulation of prostitutes in Nevada is fascinating because back in 1988, they started, telling the prostitutes that they had to wear condoms, the men had to wear condoms and all of that. And ever since then, there hasn't been a single instance of HIV. Okay.
Really?
Not
Wow.
a single instance. There have been a few cases of a non-serious STD that they got treated for and it was fine. But with Los Angeles porn actors, since 2004, there have been 8 cases of HIV. Mm-hmm. So that's part of the reason why authorities in Los Angeles want to force actors to wear a condom to make sure that this problem doesn't continue.
If you're sleeping with a porn star and you're not using a condom, you're nuts. I'd double, triple up, man. I mean, come on. What kind of insane risk-taking is that?
And the porn industry is claiming, well, it causes chafing and that actually increases the instance of STD
porn stars
transmission.
Who are having sex with each other are wearing condoms is a different issue. But I'm saying if you're outside of that industry and you're like, yes, I scored with a porn star.
I see.
Oof. I'd bring like 24 condoms along with me. I mean, great, God bless. I'm not saying don't have sex with porn stars. I would never say that, okay? But having it unprotected sounds insane to me. JR.
Can I have my jank moment for a second here? Didn't I tell you guys this? We
That's
talked about
moment?
that story before. I told you guys that, of course, you make porn stars wear protection. Of course. And you guys are like, it's worse for the viewer. I want to see a condom.
They want to have sex with each other and they get STDs or they don't is different than me watching it. Do you see what I'm saying?
But you guys were against the regulation and making them wear condoms in the films, right? Maybe I got your perspectives wrong.
I just want to clarify my position. I have been a Romney Etch-a-Sketch on this because, because there are so many. I'm torn. On one hand, the porn industry brings in so much money to Los Angeles, and if we do start regulating the porn industry and forcing the actors to wear condoms, a lot of them are threatening to either go underground or go to Nevada, and that means Los Angeles is going to lose money. And look, the viewer, for some reason or another, I don't really understand it. You're a guy, so maybe you can understand it better than I do. They don't want to see a condom in porn.
You know why? Because it takes a little away from the fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
So your porn is obviously fantasy, right? So if in the middle of fantasy, like the guy goes to work and starts doing accounting, you're like, this wasn't really like what I bargained for. Do you see what I'm saying? Like we're taking precautions, we're putting on condoms. Like why don't you just do a porn where you're having sex with your wife? What's the point?
Well, those porns exist, don't they?
Maybe, but I'm not even sure. That's how little it would be viewed.
Okay, I just don't understand why they can't do weekly STD screenings like Nevada does. Why is that so difficult?
They should definitely.
They'll relocate.
There's no question about that.
Relocate to Nevada, where apparently they're gonna make them wear condoms because they do the same thing for the other industry.
Yeah. One last note on this is a pro-regulation note. Look at that. Nevada does some regulation of prostitutes. It's legal but regulated, and voila. Dramatically less STDs and no HIV, right? Unregulated prostitutes, you go do a check in New York, okay? My guess is some of those folks have STDs and some of them have HIV. Okay, go. I want to do this just so we can have the numbers. Go ahead and do it in Baltimore.
Ugh.
Okay, I mean, do it anywhere. Do it in Topeka. Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, it's gonna be nasty. So legalize, regulate.